Right, we are live. Right, sorry about the crappy setup. It's the best way I can do it. So we're in the front room today with my Lego collection as well. So it's been a while since I've done any Lego. So I thought I'll go out there on Amazon at the moment. This is about £10. It's brand new out. It's not £10 to buy. You save about £10. So I actually got this for about £23, which is pretty nice, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to actually build this today. You can chat away in the actual comment part down the bottom, and we can actually just talk about anything you like, to be honest with you. YouTube, new releases, or anything like that. Just hit me up and then just say what you want to say. So let's just crack on. We're looking at the box. We could actually do this as a review as well. So the box we have Infinity Saga Lego. It's the Ironmonger Mayhem, which is actually from the first Iron Man movie that started it all. It's absolutely incredible, and I love all these sort of like builds, especially of these sort of larger kind of characters and these Iron Man. And they actually look like they've gone back to the original Iron Man helmet because they kind of went to a bucket kind of thing. In the pack here, we've got Iron Man. We have got Pepper Potts. And we have got, I can't remember your name, Mr. Stan, Oberhan, Stan, the man. But on the sides, you've got all this kind of new sort of brickwork and stuff here. Just sort of, I guess, it's the way that they're going with all this kind of looking stuff. Everything's got a different kind of character in each of these bricks. Maybe it's to do with the splinter parts for the what if. The actual background image here is fantastic. I really love that. Thanos up on the side, Marvel, and Pepper Potts up here, which is pretty cool. So let's just open it up. Oh, 90s, 80s, mate. How you going? This is actually. Actually, I should have said General Kenobi. One thing I hate about Lego is stickers. It does me in. Right, so we have got a manual, and we have only got 3 bags plus these crappy things. I really don't like these. Sometimes they're pretty good, and I've seen people do effect things on Instagram and stuff, but just putting them on the figure, I just don't like them, and they just look cheap as well. So we've got bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. So these 2 and 3 can go over here. We can start on bag 1. Manual booklet in a nice kind of folded book type here, not just the typical cheap looking ones. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, whiskey, you alright, mate? Oh yeah, barbecue. I had a quick microwave meal before coming on. Didn't realise the time, to be honest. It was on the Xbox, so yeah, I just had to have a microwave meal. So nice to have barbecue. So yeah, I haven't actually done Lego for a little while. I did buy that Ghost Rider set. Probably a couple of months ago now that I've done it. So I buy it now and again. But that Ghost Rider one actually ended up in the actual in the box, because after I had my surgery and all that, my missus, she's just come over and sort of redone all this for me because it was just getting a little bit sort of. It's the only thing in Lego, it just kind of congregates too much and it gets too dusty, so you have to kind of sort of split it open a little bit to make it look more airy, and it looks better when it's more aired rather than too much Lego based chucked on each other. So it comes with an Iron Man or a Tony Stark, i.e. a Mark II or Mark III. Yeah, the SK's on here. Yeah, it's an SK5. Have you put on anything yet? I'm sweating out, yeah. So hot today. So coming with Tony Stark, typical Lego. There's no arm printing on the side, no leg printing, etc. So it's just typical bottoms and top on the side there. We have got a nice hairpiece for Tony, but we can top this off and we can slide on his helmet with a folding up. So I prefer this helmet now. Like, they're much better, these older type ones, rather than those other ones that they did bring out. Well, for a couple of years. I don't know why they have reverted back. So he can go over there. Ah, nice. Right, so we can skip all this, skip this. Yeah, I normally only try and wear one a day, but sometimes it just kind of put on a couple. So I've actually had the Casio this morning. Do you have any figure suggestions for my birthday that's coming up? I'm looking at my more Imperial guys. I'd say that one that gets overlooked quite a bit because it's always troopers. But do you have General Veers? He actually comes with his armor and all that sort of stuff for when he goes down for the assault on Hoth. It's actually a really nice figure, and the actual face tech as well on there, so you're not going to get bummed out because it's an older figure that hasn't got the face tech. But yeah, definitely, I'd say General Veers is a really good shout, unless you do have him. I think any of the officers, to be honest with you, is a good shout to build up for your Imperial shelf. If you just keep going troopers, sometimes it just looks a little bit too samey. Obviously, if you are into your troopers and stuff like that, sort of go for it. But yeah, I think generally, General Veers is a pretty good one. Yeah, and actually, if you haven't got an AT-AT trooper either, or AT-AT, depending on how you want to say it, that is actually a really good figure, and it's probably a bit easier to get because they did bring him out in the 40th anniversary packaging as well. But the back detail on there, the silver and all that, it's a really nice looking figure. Or even both Veers and an AT-AT driver. Then you got the whole world then. Yeah, Gree's all right. I just do find because I just did an update on my Gree. It's just like if you do look at his detailing compared to how he is in the actual film, it's like he's gone to paintballing rather than he's actually gone into the Imperial Academy. Well, Republic. What did you kind of think for your birthday anyway, 1980? Is there anything that you particularly had your mind set on? It's the only thing with Lego when you just can't find anything you need. Oh yeah, well, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because if you are collecting 3.75, do you actually want to go ahead and collect a Black Series figure, or you're just gonna, go on to one? But if you do get four, and he's pretty cool, if he's one of your favourite characters, why not have one of each sort of size, But yeah, it is a good figure. I think in overall, if I had to choose between Veers and Fawn, I would go for Veers, just because he comes with a pistol, he comes with an armor set, the normal cap, and plus the sort of like big helmet type thing, like that he has when he goes down on the assault. Oh, the thing doesn't let me go down. Oh, it does. So you're only building up an Imperial army. Is that in Black Series, or is that just for the 3.75 as well? We were having a good Sunday, all ready to go back to normality next week. Oh, is it? I mean, it is a fire spray anyway, but yeah, it would always be Slave One to me. I thought they might have just been changing the name, not officially, but just not to offend people. So, because obviously Lego is kind of aimed at kids, um, you know, putting Slave One on there, I can see that it might cause a bit of controversy. So they might just sort of like just said it's Boba Fett's ship, and that's it. So I didn't know Disney are really going to sort of re-change the name of it. But does it bother me? No. Everything's just so politically incorrect these days. It just does my head in. And it really annoys me because I hate to get all political as well, but it's, like, things shouldn't be said by certain people. And the most influential kind of sort of stuff is music, which appears to anyone of a young age. Like you can hear 5-year-olds sing to music, and as long as they like it, and the massive big thing is that they want things to change, and this in a racial way, for Slave One, etc., and stuff like that. But they still use the N word in music, with context and stuff like that. But for a 5-year-old, that's probably like the first time they would generally actually hear it, because a lot of people are not racist these days. Yeah, it's out there in kind of like in the wrong terms, in banter form, etc., and stuff like that. But I for me, growing up in the 80s, it was always kind of like you made fun, and stuff like that. Doesn't make you necessarily. For me, it's just if someone's wearing glasses, you take the mickey, look at glasses. Whether a person's got a different colour skin, it's the first kind of thing that you see, and it's just as it goes. I just think if I don't want to get too political, otherwise I rave on too much about it. Yeah, I just think certain things are wrong, certain things are okay, but just these days now, I think everyone they take offence to anything. They can put something out there, and no one knows the contents of it. A mother will walk past, never seen Star Wars in her life. She's 25, she's a mother now. A kid gets into Star Wars, she's never watched it, sees a ship and it's got Slave on it, and it's like, the sad thing is, it's the internet that kind of kills it, because it rallies all these people to get together as well. It makes everyone want to have an opinion because they can express themselves. But that's just me ranting, or my opinions, just me. Sorry about the beeping horns. I live near a busy road, so it's just going to be quite loud. As well, I'm not in the back room doing in the studio. Yeah, because that's what I kind of thought for the Lego. I just thought it was, a kid was. I mean, kids do call it. I mean, you wouldn't go around, oh, Mum, I want Slave Run. And to be honest, I don't. I knew that's the official name was Slave One, but I would never actually go around and say. I would always say Boba Fett ship. It's just kind of how it is. No, it's cool, Mike. 1980s, yeah. Rebels, season 3. Do you know? I think there's only 4 seasons, isn't there, or 5 seasons? I remember when Disney Plus, when it come out, I think I finished on the last season before it finished. I kind of ran out of love for it because it was all those kind of weird creatures that always kind of like have full sensitive things. I just sometimes I find that a little bit too hard to believe for Star Wars and stuff like these massive big talking creatures. I know it sounds stupid, like hard to believe it, but um, I persevered with it, and actually I really really enjoyed it. And do you know what? After I watched Rebels, I actually watched Resistance as well. It started off a bit weird, but actually by the end of the second series, I really loved it, and I was kind of hoping they would actually sort of like maybe contribute it into another sort of series or something. But I think they just killed it out of death. But I definitely would like figures from the Resistance, to be honest. Right, there we go. Guess I'm doing the head anyway. Indeed, it will be. What else have they changed in the names of Star Wars? I suppose Slave Leia, that's completely different now, isn't it? Yeah, it would be quite nice to have the season 3 Rebels. To be honest, I prefer Ezra. Once he got rid of that stupid hair, it just to me it was just Aladdin. You know, he just looked like Aladdin from in the first sort of series, which I think, yeah, actually, I watched that pilot episode probably like 3 times, and I still never completed it because I just found it really quite bad to watch. But yeah, once it's the same as Clone Wars, though, isn't it? You know, like that film that come out. Even though I went to the cinema to see that film, but you know, it is a bit of a hard watch. Right, so I think we have made his headpiece. This always bugs me when I actually. Oh no, we haven't. I haven't finished yet. Okay. Although I do think I've missed a few bits. Oh no, that's to do with Iron Man and his stud stuff. Well, take care, mate. Dun, dun. Okay. It's a bit quiet tonight. Right, that's that page done. Let's get rid of all this crap. It's the only thing I always hate about Lego and their stickers, like if you ever got any of the sort of fake sets, the stickers actually fit the circumference to the actual Lego parts. But Lego, you always have to have that little extra little part all the way around. So if you don't line it up properly, you're foobarred. Right, page 2. So this on here we've got pepper pots. I think I might already have a pepper pots from the previous set. I did get the Malibu Mansion quite a few years ago. I think it was for Iron Man 2. But nonetheless, she is here. Looking a bit manly, I suppose, in a way. Not too bad. Right, so he can go over there, and we are looking for one of these. One of these. And these. Oh, and a hip. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Lots of little bits to this set. More stickers. There we go. Hello. How you doing? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I did have a little operation a little while ago. Still a bit sore, but completely on the mend. Right, in there. I guess go for number 2. What's been your latest pickup? Cool. Iron Man. Sorry, I didn't see you say. Iron Man. Yeah, my favourite. Do you know? I think they're all pretty cool. The first Iron Man, obviously the one that started it all, was really good from beginning to end. It was just like a roller coaster. It was amazing all the way through. Number two, I think it's probably my least favourite. I really liked the first part, and I did like the when he gets the suit out of the briefcase and stuff like that. But it has got some good bits, but I think it's probably the weakest. And number three, I just love the story. I kind of love that it's like Avengers 0.5. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a continuation on sort of Tony's character and stuff like that, and how Spider-Man's Homecoming's kind of like an Iron Man 3 kind of sequel in a way, because he brings on everything that he's learned forward, you know. But I think Iron Man 1 is probably my best one. I think out if I had to lay it all out and tick all the boxes, Iron Man 1 I think would be the best. How about yourself? Or a question to you: what is your favourite MCU movie? So out of the Disney ones. And that's to everyone in the room. If you want to carry on the conversation. Oh, nice. But I bet, I don't know. You know, I was actually thinking of this probably a couple of months ago. Like living in New York City, it must be really weird because I mean, pretty much every single movie, you know, has a bit of a New York in it, doesn't it? Whether it's Marvel or a romantic film or anything like that, it has a lot of New York in it, doesn't it? Um, what's it like living in New York, and you just sort of like, oh, that's down there. That's by my coffee shop, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's over there. It must be really weird because it must be like being filmed 24/7. Yeah, no, number one is good. Yeah, I tell what I really enjoyed was when Iron Patriot come out. Now I think they should have waited on that. Maybe they could bring Iron Patriot back. Maybe there's that armor stored somewhere or something like that. But yeah, I would love War Machine or the Iron Patriot suit to sort of be a little bit more explored in the MCU. That's amazing. Yeah, Guardians one. Actually, Guardians is an incredible movie. It's actually amazing. Number two got a lot of stick, but again, I think that was a really good movie as well. I thought everything was just on point on the humour and all that. Hello, Beast Optics. That's amazing. But it must happen quite a lot in New York, isn't it? Because I mean, it's not like a quiet city. Do you know what I mean? It's like everywhere you go, every movie, it's just there's just New York, just there. Right, I've got to do this twice, so I'm not going to beat around the bush and build it one at a time. So we need two of these. Did you not go and get his autograph? Doctor Strange is a good movie. For some reason, it kind of just reminds me some. I know it's magic and all that, but it does kind of remind me a little bit of Harry Potter. I don't know why, but yeah, even when Doctor Strange was coming out, I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy was coming out. I remember like Avengers, I come out and I was literally like, oh my god, that film was amazing. Like I was so pumped. I was like, they've actually got. Because do you remember like way back when it would be like they do a Batman movie and it's like who's in it? Batman. Who else? Robin. Who else? Batgirl. And you know, the more villains they put in it, the more things they put. It got worse. It just absolutely got awful. So I didn't really have high expectations for the Avengers film, but geez, it was amazing. And then they said that Guardians of the Galaxy was coming out, and I was just like, I've been a Marvel fan like all my life, like, and I just never really sort of even heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I read it up, and I was like, what? Bloody talking tree and a raccoon, like, ugh, I'll go to see it anyway because it's part of the story. Oh my god! Like, I come out of that movie and I thought it's better than better than Avengers. I was actually so pumped about it. It was amazing. Uh, I'm going to be a bit of a lot of people hate me for it, but I can't do Winter Soldier, and I don't know why. Um, it has a lot of cool elements in it, but for me, I just find I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but all I can think of is that Winter Soldier was the reason why I gave up on adverts. I went to the cinema to go and see something, and it had Chris Evans at the beginning of it saying like, "Hello, I'm Chris Evans, and here's 10 minutes of my movie." And we sat there, and I had to watch the whole elevator scene of him kicking ass. And that's at that point is when I actually stopped watching adverts. I don't. If there's a movie coming out, I do not watch the adverts. If it was Star Wars, I never watched them. Any of the other stuff because it just ruins it. It ruins all the sort of like quirky little lines. I remember seeing Civil War and I laughed at every single joke and quim because I didn't watch any of the adverts. And I watch the adverts when I get home. And it's got Spider-Man when he catches Winter Soldier's arm, and it's like, oh, you got a metal arm? Like, I actually laughed really loud in that, but I wouldn't if I saw the advert. So it does really take it away. Yeah, I do have Disney Plus, and I'm on it 24/7. I must admit, I do enjoy it. I think even though it's all one sort of one-sided, I do think it's better than Netflix, especially where they bought Star and everything as well. Really good. Has everyone seen the What If episode that's just come out with Captain Carter? What did you think? What's your opinion? Yeah, it's nice to see animate, and I've seen a lot of people don't like the animated style of it, but Mike, I don't know how old you are, mate, but I'm 40, and it really reminds me of that kind of transitions between the 70s and the 80s cartoons. Just the way that you see them hold the thing and pull the lever, even though it's kind of 3D and stuff, it's still got that kind of old school. I don't know if they're all exactly the same. They're all directed by the same people. I don't know if the art style is going to change per episode, but I just, yeah, the way that it was in there, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I kind of thought that as well. I thought it was going to come back as the Winter Soldier or be sort of brainwashed or something in that kind of way. But yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was and do you know what? I want Captain Carter to show up in one of the future films and that she have her own standalone film because I would rather have her um, head of like the Avengers and stuff like that than the Falcon. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Anthony Mackie. I just don't like the way he acts, and it just where he's always been a bit of a cocky, sure guy, and even in interviews as well. And he just kind of comes, and now he's like Captain America. It's just like the truth whole heroism thing just doesn't kind of like appeal off him. I don't know what it is. I think it's because we've not had a really enough rapport, and I think that's it was all flooded into Winter Soldier because I found Winter Soldier the series to be really slow. Yeah, it is really good, really good. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. I I think what put me off Anthony Mackie was what film was it when he first appeared? It was Winter Soldier. Um, and they do the Comic Con thing, don't they? And he was in the panel, and he was like literally just his mouth wouldn't shut up. Yeah, maybe he was excited and stuff, but he just wouldn't shut up. And even like Scarlett Johansson's face was just like, oh my god, like someone shut him up. And I think from that interview, I just literally had a bit of a thing like I didn't really like him as a person. I can't even say that because I don't even know the guy. But you know when you get a bit of an ick about people, um, yeah, unfortunately, I got the ick a little bit about him because he was just butting into everyone's like conversations and stuff like that, which I find really rude. But yeah, I don't know. And the next episode for the next one is which this is a what if I don't understand either. because we all seen the adverts, and the next episode apparently is the oh my god, the Black Panther. He becomes Star-Lord, which I think is a bit weird, because then the only reason why Yondu would pick up Star-Lord, Black Panther, is because his mum would have slept with Ego, but then Ego would have had to found Wakanda. So yeah, it's just a bit. I just think that's a bit weird. Where it's not even going to be a point in a film. It's going to be a point before the film. Like, what if Ego didn't meet Star-Lord's mum and met Black Panther's mum? Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a weird what if, I suppose. Yeah, the pistols, like Falcon, there's like when he's flying around shooting and stuff. The thing I've found a bit odd is because he hasn't got the super strength, so straight away he gets his arse sort of whipped. And I just think I gave like the metaphor to one of the guys at work. I said, like, obviously when they got the serum and stuff inside them, so for someone that hasn't got the serum, throwing it at someone that has got the serum, it's kind of like a 2-year-old throwing a frisbee at a pro wrestler. So imagine the pro wrestler throwing that frisbee back at a 2-year-old. It's gonna hurt, and it just, I kind of hope that he did get the super serum just to give him that extra kind of boost, and that yes, he can do it, because you're never going to see this Captain America grab like Thanos' kind of gauntlet and hold it upright, are you? You're never going to see that kind of thing, because he simply just doesn't have that power. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he wouldn't exist. Like, Peter Quill wouldn't have happened. Like, it just seems to be a bit of a. I mean, a what if to me is kind of like, what if I decided not to do live tonight? What if I just carried on playing the Xbox, or and doing all this, but not completely. It's just like an instance of something else has happened, um, but doing that is complete. I mean, they might write into a story. I mean, I have full faith in Marvel, but it's just a bit weird, isn't it, that Yondu picks up Black Panther or T'Challa rather than Peter Quill. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Oh, what have I done here? Yeah. I mean, have we all seen? I guess we've all seen Black Widow by now, haven't we? I guess we've all seen her. Um, I mean, Christ, she takes a beating in that movie. Like, it's insane how much punishment that girl takes, and doesn't even flinch or break a bone or bleed. Like, she just gets up and just carries on. I've gone wrong here. Yeah, I paid it on Disney Plus. Um, a lot of people always moaning about the price of Disney Plus, but I watched it with my kids. Um, for 20 quid for going to the cinema, I'll be at least spending about um, probably 15 coming up for 20 for the tickets. Plus, then they want food. Plus, you got to drive there. Plus, you got to do everything else. So I spent £20, and I could watch that as many times as I want. There's no limit. I've got that now until it comes out on Disney Plus. I spent more on games that I got less for. So I think it's worth a shot. I understand if you just sort of like young and you're not going to watch it over and over again and stuff, but I've got 3 other people that sort of share my account as well, so they benefited from it as well. So it was to me, it's kind of worth a bit better money. Right, that's the way it's got to go. What is your yeah, it is when she hurts herself. Yeah, it was just it was quite laughable, to be honest, how many times she gets hurt. But someone's trying to sort of brag it to me to say that she has no pain receptors because she goes through that thing. But I don't know. To me, it's just you're gonna feel something. Well, even her sister has been through it, and it hurt her. So. Right, we have feet. Oh, got to do the arms next. What is your favourite actual Avengers film? Yeah, to be honest, Mike, I actually enjoyed it more on my second viewing. Actually, in 1 week, I watched it 3 times because I watched it with the kids. Then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to sit down and watch it on my own. Oh no, my friend come over, so we sat down and watched it, and I enjoyed it the second time. But then in the week, I went around my friends who shares my account. And I watched it with him as well. So by the end of it, I was a bit sick of it, but I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it the second time watching it rather than the first. Infinity War, yeah. Yeah, the big fights. I don't want to say too much because he's not watched it, but yeah, it's just like some of the stunts in it were just a kind of bit unbelievable for a normal type person. That's all I've got to say. Especially falling from the sky. Infinity War. My favourite actually Avenger film, if we're going to put it down to that, would have been Infinity War as well. I was going to say Endgame, but no, the first one. I actually come out and I actually cried coming out of the movie, and my partner then, she was like, "Oh, did it upset you with Spider-Man?" So I went, "No." I said, "Actually, what got me was like my whole life, I enjoyed movie. If I had to live without Star Wars or Marvel, I would actually choose to lose Star Wars, because Marvel, the comics and all that have been there, so all through my teenage years and stuff like that. So it's actually, I hold it quite dear to my heart. Watching Spider-Man swing into action next to Doctor Strange to then team up with Iron Man when they're going down the street and stuff like that, and the banter between them, I was like, do you know what? They actually get it. They actually get what I've been reading. It's not just about certain things or, oh, let's do that to make it look cool. It's actually like understanding all these different quims and stuff like that. It was actually, yeah, it was really beautiful to watch, to be honest. I did find Endgame though, it didn't have the same magic as Infinity War, and I must admit on that. Yeah, it definitely had really good moments in it, but it wasn't Infinity War. Right, on the third and final bag. Lots of little tiny parts in this one. Lots of little bits. So we have Stain. And he can actually fit inside. Pretty cool. Does he sit? Oh, he sits. Doesn't stand, he sits. Yeah, Infinity War, definitely. So, changing the conversation, what would be your favourite Marvel, but non MCU? What would be your favourite film? Yeah, I did think that. I do think Tony Stark's snap kind of completed his arc in a way. He's the only one that's kind of had any kind of like main story driven all the way through. You know, even in Civil War, he still had pain. Iron Man, Spider Man, all the Avenger films. He's the only one that's kind of sort of like always grown from each film in a way. And I think it was quite a good arc. Captain America, I thought that was completely out of character for Captain America. It was nice for him to go and do it, because yeah, he's always like missing and moaning about Peggy. I mean, Jesus, yeah, I would go back for Haley Atwell, but um, I do think that was too selfish for Captain America, and I think it was completely out of character um, when I really think about it. But it was good to kind of complete their character arcs on that. The only thing I'm really scared for is that I'm not looking forward to the next Avenger film, and I make that because they're not in it. So I'm a bit worried where the MCU is going to take me, because I don't feel like with them in it, I haven't got those two anchor characters in it. I do like Spider-Man, but at the moment he's still not an anchorage character. He's not kind of like got that kind of rivalry like Iron Man and Captain America, and they're really two headstrong kind of characters that they're not in it no more. So I'm a bit scared where the next one's going to go. Yeah, Deadpool 2. I would have to go for the 2000 Spider-Man, I think, for me, or even Blade. I really like Blade. Oh, skipped a page. Oh, the Amazing Spider-Man. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. Did you guys like the DC movies? The only thing I did find about Andrew Garfield, I found him a little bit too dickish as Spider-Man. Um, I think it's because it didn't have the sort of old, like the uncle story and sort of stuff in it, that it kind of, like, I know it's sort of like to be said and stuff like that. Either they should have just carried it on like it was enough. He's been Spider-Man for ages and he had a bit of flashbacks to how he became Spider-Man. But I just, Spider-Man kind of needs that leverage to become a hero, to make it believable, and he didn't have it. And I just always found he was a bit too dickish in it. And I think it's because, and it's not, it's because Twilight was big at the time, so they tried to make it a bit of a love kind of like relationship thing with Gwen Stacy, which kind of took over the main kind of story. Do you think though he's going to appear in the next Spider-Man? Like, there's massive rumours, isn't there? Like, he's going to be in it. Yeah. To be honest, I think the last DC movie I quite enjoyed was um, Superman Returns. Um, they had such a, yeah, the movies. It's just like Henry Cavill, whatever his name is. He's such a fantastic looking Superman. Like, but I wish they'd done it in such a camp way, like Superman Returns, because he would be ideal, like the very sort of patriotic kind of Superman, like and stuff like that. But they kind of went down this way where, like, oh, he's an alien. Oh, we can't have aliens running around. Blah blah blah. They made it too political and dark, just because we had the Christopher Nolan sort of Batman around at the time, which was successful for some strange reasons. But um, yeah, just, yeah, they really flunked that character, and they could have had an amazing Superman there. They literally had a winner in their hands, but they just didn't do it. Oh, really? See, I think with with DC for me, I always like Batman and I always like Superman. Like, Superman is like the pinnacle of superheroes, isn't he? He's like, it's kind of what everyone's based on. Um, but I just found everything a little bit too psychotic all the time. It's all a bit weird and a bit crazy and stuff. I kind of like, I really loved the Batman animated series from the 90s. Um, the sort of futuristic Gotham, but looked like 1950s. You know, but then it kind of got a bit weirder and weirder, and I just find that all the heroes and all the villains, shall we say, are exactly the same kind of characters. You know, the Mad Hatter, the Joker, the Riddler, like they're all literally like just the same. Like, the Batons. Yeah, I like the first. Christopher Nolan Batman. I really enjoyed that. The second one, I used to get a load of stick for it because I just, when you sort of like people going, "Oh, it's amazing," and I'm like, I just don't get it. I can't see why it's amazing, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're an idiot." But honestly, I just couldn't get into it. And then the other one come out with Bane. I thought, yeah, I'll go. I didn't like the other one. Maybe I enjoy this one, but again, I don't know. There was something about it. But I've been intrigued with the new Batman that they're coming out, but they need to get their. They're just idiots. Like they got a multi-universe kind of story arc here, and they're kind of still trying. Like they just brought out another Wonder Woman movie. They're still bringing out the Flash and stuff like that. But yet they're bringing out these standalone movies like the Batman, the Joker, and stuff like that. It's just they're literally just killing the franchise underneath. Where they're just trying so hard. Especially, I mean, killing Superman in just like the first kind of thing. That should have been an Infinity War kind of thing. Killing Superman, but I mean, the guy just literally come out, burnt down Gotham and Metropolis, was hailed a hero, um, and then died. Oh, what's that? No, I didn't get the Bad Batch shuttle. I was actually talking to Mike earlier about it because we were both saying about how we didn't enjoy the Bad Batch and it kind of put us off. But I actually find that the shuttle looks a bit pants. It's just like even the front window, it just looks too small. I mean, I'll try and reach here, see if I can get to it. I mean, I think what 2016, 17, the shuttle Tardirian come out. I mean, look how cool it is. I mean, this was about 50 quid back in the day there. It's massive. It looks pretty cool. The wings drop down. It just looks amazing. But the Marauder ship, I think that's what they call it. It just doesn't look nice. Doesn't look half as good as this at all. And this one is actually mint. It's brilliant. You come down here, got the open little hatch on the side. Comes up here, got all the extra little storage bits. Even the back with the thrusters. It looks absolutely sensational. But yeah, it just looked really cheap thrown together, made it look really small. It didn't need that bike accessory or stuff like that. It needed to put more parts into the actual ship to make it look pretty cool. But I think, yeah, again, they just kind of pushed it out really quickly without really getting any kind of the reference pictures for it, and just didn't make it look nice. So I'd rather wait a few years till they bring out like a number 2 or something, or if they re-release the Ghost ship, because that's one I really, really want. Yeah, that's it, Mike. Yeah, I totally agree. I just I don't know. It just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look nice at all. And I actually bought some bootleg Bad Batch figures before Christmas, and they look amazing compared to the Lego versions as well. So yeah, I don't know what it is with Lego lately. I mean, they're bringing out another Boba Fett ship, aren't they? But it's even smaller than, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, this one here. It's actually smaller than that one. So I don't know what they're doing. The new TIE fighter that's come out. Actually, this was when they brought this out. I think it was about 50 quid. This one actually is actually a knockoff because I bought two for £15 each, and actually turned one into a TIE interceptor. But yeah, just with Lego, they're just putting up the price and dropping down the things now, and they got to realise it's actually theoretically a toy. It's not a collector's thing, and you know, going out. I mean, I would hate to know how much you spent on, yeah, um, like how much a whole range. You know, if I'm going out to, that's kind of what swayed me over to Black Series in the end, because I'm going to go and buy a whole range. If I buy a whole wave that comes out, it's probably what £95 or something like that, which is a lot of money. But if I wanted to go out and buy every range of Lego that comes out in a wave, one's £10, one's £20, another one's £45, another's like 55, one's 75, one's 110. You know, straight away you're looking over £200 just for like a wave of Lego. I mean, no kid's going to get every single set out there unless, you know, they've got daddy pockets, you know. So that's kind of what miffed me off about Lego in the end. Yeah, the knockoffs, you know, as much as they knocked him out of the thing, they act when a knockoff figure, when they actually apply white to the actual figure itself, you actually get white. It's actually, you can't see through it. It's not like a milky kind of whitey black or anything like that. When you get stickers and stuff like that, it actually is the whole circumference, or sometimes they are printed parts as well, which Lego don't do. So yeah, I don't think I've got any. The only one on here is the TIE fighter. I think that is a knockoff, because I was just refusing to go out and spend £70 on something that used to be 50. So I got that, yeah, for both 15 quid each, and it fits together. There's probably a few little bits where you try and squeeze it together and it just, you know, pops out a little bit, but yeah, you can't knock it. Yeah, I bet it is. I really wanted this one here. In the end, I went on eBay and bought a second-hand set. It didn't come with any figures or anything like that, which I was fine about, because I've got loads of Boba Fett figures and I'm not really into Lego at that point to get the latest looking one. I could just change a few bits around to get the latest looking kind of Boba, or the best looking Boba anyway. Yeah, it was just, I was clicking on there. Yeah, and I mean, there's no Boba Fett. This is really loose. Oh, that's why. There's no Boba Fett ship. I collected for about 10 years, 9 to 10 years, and there's no Boba Fett ship. I stopped collecting, then this one comes out. Well, there was the Ultimate Collector's Edition, but it's too big. I like these little sets that sort of fit the minifigures and they look like the right kind of sort of size for them. I would love to have some of those ultra collector sets, especially the Millennium Falcon. But it's just the sheer size. I wouldn't have nowhere to put it. But you just hate everything's here, but I just can't see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we really had a discussion this evening about why it's not called Slave One. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't really bother me at the end of the day. So, I mean, have they changed it on Wikipedia? I suppose that's one place to look to know if it's officially changed or it's just Lego's advertising. But you know, even when I'm sitting here, I'm still calling it Boba Fett ship. I'm not I'm not even called it Slave One. So, yeah. Oh, this guy is a big boy, isn't he? But soon they start getting hold of our superheroes soon and start calling them like Spider Person or Spider Them and Spider Day or something. I got that. And then we drop over a grey. We have a clip. And a dash. wrong one. What do you mean? Experiencing what? The playing stones, clones. Oh, decaling. Um, you mean as in doing the wet transfers type of thing? I haven't used it myself. I have got a few Bandai kits that come with those kind of decals, but I haven't used them. I always refer to painting. Yeah, just not used them at all. I don't know. I can understand if people haven't got an actual way of doing art, or or just sort of trying or painting and stuff on a figure. But literally, honestly, just give it a go with paint. It's quite easy because if anyone can draw in a straight line. So if you're doing anyone like a 501st or anything like that, it's just a simple straight line, thicken up that line, which is there. Because I've noticed a lot of people doing these decals lately, and they're splintering off, and they're just saying, "Oh yeah, it's a bit of weathering and stuff like that," which is fine. But I don't know. I think it just takes the magic away out of it, to be honest. I just in the other room. I've actually finished off. I just need to put the video together and record a few bits and take the photos. But I have finished my latest custom, which hopefully will be out this week. I just need to get back onto the YouTube part. Really, I've just kind of fall short of it. But yeah, so I've done a Captain Carter crossover clone, so complete with shield as well. It's not the best kind of thing I've made, but it's kind of nice to put an extra kind of clone on the shelf. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you know that you physically can't do the painting, because by the time you go out and buy some decent paintbrushes, buy the paint and stuff, you're looking well over that £13. So, or $13. I mean, if anything, are you losing out if you do it? If it's a massive gamble at $13, and $13 is a lot of money to you, then don't do it unless you really. I just lost that right down there. Unless you really, really, really want that figure, if it's a fives or something like that, then go for it. One moment. Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, it's down to you, isn't it? I mean, I know some YouTubers out there have been doing it. Undying Art, I think he's tried one. I know he has on Instagram. Whether he's done a video or not, and a few others are out there that are doing it. But finally making some hands. Right, got to do this 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so let's get this guy together. Doesn't actually tell you where to put these, but yeah. Skip. There. Right, next up. Right, just getting rid of the last of the stickers. That's pretty cool. Gets rid of that. too bad. Like, it covers it up, but there's not enough bend in the actual Lego to manipulate it. Well, it doesn't look as good as it can be on there, that's for sure. Right, so next up is oh, sorry, I didn't see all your bits. They go all there, around across. Don't know why it's retracted you. Maybe because so many in a row. Right, that's the last of the figures, thank God. Kind of tube comes out of here. Into there. Oh, okay. Let's get all technical now of all this. Let's go in there. Go in there. Oh, and then they are attaching. onto his arms. Okay, I thought I might hinder his movement, but it doesn't. Oh, then he has a case. In there. So he's got a multi-stud chute on the side, and that's him completed. So you just get a little cargo box, typical kind of thing, little keypad on it. We can store all your studs and whatnot in there. We actually get 3 of the minifigures, so we get Iron Man, Pepper Potts, and Stan inside the suit. Just get him so his hands are down. See his hands. Kind of like that way. It's kind of like just inside there. It's kind of very much like the Sonic baddie, is it Eggman or Egghead, where it's sort of stuck inside there. So the helmet comes down over the top, so you can't see inside. You can just barely just see him just in the side parts there. Articulation wise here, we've got rotation at the waist. Arms seem to be not too hindered. They kind of hinder a little bit, but they got this piston kind of bit now that moves in and moves up and down as he's moving that, so that's pretty cool. Arm rotation down here. Hands can spin, so we've got a little bit of rotation there. You can also take off his thumb, and obviously shows the repulsors, or they can just keep falling off. Which is pretty cool. So you can actually hold Iron Man if you wanted to. Not 100% sure on this. This is a new thing for me, so unless it's another way of stud shooting there with this rocket launcher thingy. On the side, we've got the multi-stud shooter where you can spin and shoot all 6 out. Arm-wise, still the same articulation on this side. Legs up and can be moved quite around as well. Get them into sort of some nice dramatic pose. While he's fighting Iron Man. So thank you guys, thanks for joining me on this one. I'm going to cut it off now because I think my phone's about to die as well. And thank you for joining me so much on this one. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and you can comment and follow me on Instagram where you see more pictures of this guy in the future. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.